Welcome to Biblical Studies Today. It's Thursday, December 19th. Want to think with you about Codex Vaticanus and some markings in the margins of Codex Vaticanus. One type that we've thought about already this week in Biblical Studies Today, the Diplae, marking the Old Testament references and quotations there in the New. And today I want to think about Distigmai, markings that are umlauts looking marks in the margin. And those are in reference today because today Peter Head at Evangelical Textual Criticism posted an article here, and just a brief note to an article in the Vatican Library Review that was published yesterday. And that article notes these distigmai in the margin of Vaticanus, and we see those right here. And these were thought to be places where a scribe came along and marked where there would be a different reading in another manuscript, and so there's early reference perhaps to textual criticism. And there's been curiosity about when these were added. And here in Matthew 11:23 added, and it's noted as well, the mu here is not marked more darkly, written over as other letters are here. And instead of may, we have just he, and that he being the relative pronoun that would reference back to Capernaum. And so instead of may, we have just he with the rough breathing mark, and then the accent mark, the acute here referencing back to Capernaum. And then what we have there you see the Kappa of Capernaum, and going on to the next line in this warning text of Jesus, instead of may not until heaven and earth pass away, we just have this he here. And the question is, when did these markings come? And as we've seen already this week in Biblical Studies Today, the use of computer technology has firmed the date closer to the 16th century than the 4th century. And so many of these textual critical places in Vaticanus or in the New Testament and marked in Vaticanus are much later and would therefore show perhaps more critical reference, more manuscripts that could be looked at as opposed to those very early. One other marginal reference that we have noted along the way this week already, here the Diplae in this place marking Malachi 3:1 for John the Baptist in Matthew 11:10, and we see the beginning here, idou ego apostello, I am sending my messenger. So these markings here and here, the dating of these markings here, the umlauts looking marks, these dating much later than these earlier marks for the Old Testament in the New. Much more to say about these kinds of issues, and a couple of references I've noted already this week. When biblical studies issues have turned toward texts and text criticism, we have noted here the early texts of the New Testament and then the earliest Christian artifacts and manuscripts. I would recommend these for you. If you're interested in studying more, join us. Go to mbts.edu, and we would love to engage biblical studies with you.